Lisa Copeland. I am so excited about my guest today on my podcast, The Art of the Big Sell, where we talk to people that are movers and they are shakers, and they are people that make a difference in the world. They are people that make a difference in business. They know how to build a movement, and they know how to galvanize their customers. They know how to galvanize their employees. And today is no different. Glenn Lundy, say hello to everybody.
Well, hello, everybody out there in Facebook land and on your podcast there. And hello to you, Lisa. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Okay, I am officially obsessed with you now. You and I had a great conversation ahead of us starting to film. And the way that you and I connected was through our mutual agents, To Market Media. And right. I know now why they connected us, because you and I have the same heart and soul when it comes to employees and customers and building a movement. And I want you, because I don't want to mess this up, and then we're going to dig deep in it. I want you to tell everybody about your new book and what you and your organization does and how you guys are changing the world, one customer, one employee at a time.
Yeah, sure thing. Again, Glenn Lundy, I am the general manager at Dan Cummins Chevrolet and Buick in Paris, Kentucky. We are currently the second largest used car franchise dealership in America.
Woohoo!
And we are in a tiny little town of about 9,600 people. That is our population. We sold 1,045 cars last month, the month of March, which was an 800% increase in sales from.
Okay, I just got chills through my whole body when you said that.
Yeah, it was awesome. So 1,045 cars. When I started at this dealership in January of 2011, we were selling about 120 cars a month. And the dealership had been here for over 50 years at that point, and that's kind of where they were at. So my book, Corporate Family Values, kind of breaks down how over the last 7 years we were able to focus on a very specific mission and focus on culture and doing things a very specific way to be able to get the results that we've gotten, over the last 7 years. So that's
we have to hear about it, because like I said, I'm officially your new super fan. And I see a bunch of people on here, a bunch of car people we know. Sean Hayes, I'm sure you know him. Ken Walls, God, I love you forever and ever. You're my technical guru. We've got a lot of, we have a lot of great car people on here, but just great big sellers. And so what did you do? How do you increase business 800%? Because your business is increasing more than the actual town, the people that live in the town. What is your superpower?
Well, the biggest thing that we did is we actually sat down, and I have the owners of this place are incredible. I'm the GM, but Josh and Dusty Cummins, the owners, are incredible. So we sat down when I first got on board with these guys. We sat down and we literally wrote down everything that we hated about the auto industry. We wrote down everything that we hated about it as a consumer. We wrote down everything that we hated about it as an employee, because Josh and Dusty had gone through it. I'd gone through it. I worked at a store for 7 years where every day I worked open to close. I worked Sundays. I got my teeth kicked in constantly. I got bullied, I got picked on, I got berated, and there was really no reward for it. I didn't make any money at all. It was just, I didn't.
Picking on you. I have to stop you there, because you and I know I hate bullies. If I spend the rest of my career getting bullies out of the workplace, then it'll be a job well done.
Yeah, absolutely. And they exist in this industry, across the board. It's almost like it's just been, it's just like everybody's kind of like, well, that's the way it is. It's the way it's always been. And so we're not going to do anything about it. Which
is why women do not work in the auto industry, which is why it's hard to attract women.
Yeah, totally. Which we have a tough time with that. So I'm looking forward to talking to you a little bit more. We've built a great culture here.
Oh, honey, I'm going to load you up with amazing women in your town. I'm going to be your biggest spokesperson.
That would be great. But we sat down and wrote down everything that we hated. And then we just strictly decided, we're just going to do the opposite of all this stuff that we personally hate, that our consumers hate. We're going to do the opposite. And so we went through and we started hiring, some young, open-minded individuals. If anybody anybody that applied with me had any previous auto experience, we pretty much avoided all of that. I started hiring servers and millennials and open-minded people, things like that. And we just started applying or implying a certain culture. So it started with a mission statement. We had to create the mission and get everybody on the same page. You understand that, right, Lisa?
I do.
It's all about creating the mission, creating the movement. So we created a mission statement, and that mission was simple. We are on a mission to eradicate the negative stigmas associated with the car business. And we do this by making people feel special, feel important, and feel like they're the only one. We will offer an experience that exceeds our customers' expectations today, tomorrow, and in the future. We don't just sell cars, we create fans.
Oh. and all of this came, Glenn, because you were bullied in the automotive industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because you're African American, because you were young. What is it? Like my show, man, we just get into it.
I think it was, to be honest with you, I think it was because the guys that I worked for, they had been bullied their whole careers in the auto industry. And so it just trickled down. They didn't know any better. They really didn't. And so I was 20 years old. I got roped into it. It was exciting. I was good at it. And so I spent 7 years of bell to bells. I ruined relationships. I lost custody of my 6-year-old kid because of habits that I learned in the auto industry, And so I just fell right in line. And it wasn't until I got out of the auto industry, I was out for 5 years. It wasn't until I got out of the auto industry, watched my life spiral down out of control, that I thought, hold on a minute, something's wrong here, something's not right. And so once we got it all figured out and I got back into the auto industry, we just made it our mission. Like, this is what we're going to do. We're not going to allow other people to get treated this way. We're going to affect the auto industry as a whole. Any dealership that does not want to change, they need to watch out, because we are on our way. We are going to take your business. We're going to take your customers. We're going to take your employees. So it's either get on board.
I love it.
Following the way we're doing things, or get out of the way. That's basically where we're at.
Oh my God. I can't even tell you. I'm just beyond obsessed. Do you know our friend, Frank Lopes? I see him out there and he's just saying, great dealership.
Yep, I do know Frank. Frank's popped in a couple times, and we've been at some different conferences together. He's a great guy.
Well, you need to do business with him. I'll tell you what. He handles. I had Chris Martinez on here a couple weeks ago. #1 Toyota store in Texas.
Oh, really?
And, he handles all their stuff, and he handles Capital Chevrolet. I just huge endorsement for him. And but he's very like-minded. I hung out with him last week at Digital Dealer. He was our MC at DD, and Okay. What I see is the people that we all come together in this universe, and there's a lot of lost my earring. There's a lot of good people in the auto industry, and I love what you said, that either people, and it's the same mission statement. I don't know if you know this, but Whole Foods says the same thing in their mission statement. It's like, we provide organic food for people, and basically they call out the rest of the industry, and they say, and if you guys aren't going to jump on board, all you other grocers, well then we're going to own your customers. Get with it.
That's it. I mean,
people need healthy food. They don't need to be eating pesticides. And that's what you guys are out there saying. This is what I hear you saying, is that you have pretty much declared the industry as your common enemy. Mm-hmm. And that's what galvanizes your employees and your customers. But you have put your competitors on notice, like, hey, fix it. And if you don't, bye-bye. We're going to own the market. We're going to have all the employees. We're going to have the hearts of the customers.
That's exactly where we're at. That's exactly where we're at. And
see, I so get you, the art of the big sell.
And to give you an idea, last month we sold 400 new Chevys, which in our region there was a total of 787 new Chevys that were sold in our region, which is like 13 states. So we're at the point right now where we're selling half. 1 out of every 2 Chevys that are sold in this region are being sold here at Dane Commons. And there are some other stores. There's some other guys that are reaching out to me, some other general managers that are reaching out to me. That's why we decided we had to write a book, put together how we were able to develop this culture, because it's not that we want to shut these other guys down. It's not that we want to put anybody else out of business. We just want the auto industry as a whole. I want to be able to walk into a room, and when people say, what do you do for a living? I want to say I sell cars. I want to put my hand up and say I sell cars, and have everybody in the room be like, oh, that's awesome that you sell cars. You know, that's what we want. We have to change this attitude that people have towards us. I always think of like pilots back in the early days when pilots used to walk through the airports and they had their suits and everybody just adored anybody that was a pilot. That's how I want people to look at the auto industry. So it's not about, you know, eradicating other dealers. It's about eradicating the negative stigmas. And we need help. We got to come together. Like you said, we got to network all us like-minded people, pull together and figure out how we can change this industry that's been so stuck in its ways for so very long.
Well, so you're an expert and you're insanely successful. And we're going to talk about your book in just a second. But what is it? What do you think has caused this perception? What is your take on what is, because I'm the same way. Like I want to be able to walk into a room, and when people say, Lisa, what is it you did? I want to revolutionize the auto industry. The day I became a car dealer, I said, I'm here to revolutionize the auto industry. I'm here to shine a light on women, minorities, and millennials, consumers, and bring them into the workforce. What is it? Why has this industry got such a bad rap? What is your opinion? And what do you see the change is going to be? I mean, it's going to be, I think, I'm just going to say, people like you, people like my good friend Brian Benstock, Paragon Honda, Adam Aarons, Patriot Subaru. You know, Adam was #1 workplace in the U.S. when we were #6. That's how I met him, was on the stage at Automotive News. I love him. He's become a very dear friend of mine. Benstock, you know, he wants to make it frictionless. So there's a lot of really high-profile dealers out there going, no, you know, we want to change. We want to change it. But what is the real change, Glenn? What is it going to take?
It's an inside-out change. I mean, it really comes from the inside out. It starts with developing, you know, completely throwing out the old handbook on how we train our salespeople and how we treat our staff. You got to throw that out the window, and it just starts internally. So here we have, you know, in some of the chapters that we break down in the book, here we have we hire on character, not credentials, for example. That's one of the chapters in the book. Hire on character, not credentials. We also promote on character, not credentials. You know, I've got people in positions. For example, I got one kid, Evan Walters. The kid used to work in detail at 19 years old. Then he went to the sales floor at 20 years old. Then he went into my finance department at 21 years old. He's now my top producing finance guy at 21 years old. But he's got character. He's got great work ethic. He didn't have the credentials. He didn't necessarily sell the most cars. He wasn't my top sales guy. He just was a guy that had the morals. He had values, and he represented our company the best. So, you know, starting with that, you know, right now I see a lot of dealers that just revolve these same old car dogs around and around and around and around because they've got a resume where they've been in the business for 10 years or 15 years or 20 years or whatever. And you got to throw that out, man. It really doesn't matter how long somebody's been in the business. What matters is what they've got in here and what what are their intentions? What is it that they're going at? So when you start internally by looking at your staff, how you treat your staff, making sure you train every single day. We train every single day, 8:30.
Now, let me ask you, do you train on sales skills or do you train on people skills or character skills? What do you train on?
We train on, and that's another chapter actually. You're just going through my book here. I love it.
You now have a big fan sitting in Austin, Texas. I'm going to tell everybody in the world about you.
That's awesome. But we train on life skills, not just job skills. So we do have sales training every single day. As far as we go, you know, we spend 10 minutes on product knowledge. We spend 10 minutes on Grant Cardone. We do Grant Cardone's.
Oh, giving Grant some love. We gave him some love yesterday too.
Yeah, got to love on some Grant. So we do our sales training with Grant. We do our product training on our product. Then we spend 10 minutes training on, you know, we might train on, you know, a different book or something that we're all reading together. Or the last 2 weeks we did training on personal branding, and we had Sean Hayes, who you said was in the thing. We had Sean Hayes come in and
love me some Sean.
And Steve Spray came in and talked to us, and some local people, Kelsey Malacote, some different Instagram influencers. We had them come and talk to us. So we train on all of these different things. We teach these guys how to treat their spouses. We teach them how to have a little bit of a balance between life outside of work and life inside of work. And we give them a schedule that's conducive to that. My guys stay off in the middle of the week. We're closed on Sundays. They get to come in late one day. They get to leave early one day.
Do you actually let them go to their kids' t-ball games and soccer games on Saturday morning without shaming them?
Absolutely. 100%. I can actually tell you a story. One of the reasons I love this dealership is when I first started working here, I still kind of had that old school mentality, and I was a sales manager, and it was a Saturday. And my daughter had her very first soccer game, and I wasn't going because I was just trying to prove that I was this awesome sales manager. And so I'm down there getting everybody ready to go on a Saturday, and the owner of the dealership, Josh Cummins, walks up to me and he says, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, what am I doing here? I'm the sales manager. It's Saturday. I'm trying to get everybody going." He goes, "I just saw on Facebook that it's your daughter's first soccer game. You better get out of here. I'll cover your seat for an hour. You go watch the game and come back when you're done." And I was floored, man. Not only did he insist that I spent time with my family and get to that game, but he was willing to jump into the chair and do my job for me.
That's a leader.
That's when I knew I was bought into Dan Cummins Chevrolet. That's when I knew I was in the right place and that we could make a difference in this industry, because I've got guys like Josh Cummins and Dusty Cummins who support, the movement. They're just as much about changing the culture and eradicating the negative stigmas in this business as I am.
So how have you, because there's a lot of people out there that are going to want to know this, because I could just talk to you forever about what you guys do. Oh, like I said, big fan here sitting in ATX. How do you guys message that to your customers? How do you take what the good behavior you guys have internally, and how do you message that to your customers? How do you think that what you did on the inside has helped you on the outside increase sales 800%? God, I feel like Barbara Walters right now, but I need to know.
I love it. You're doing great. I love it. As far as getting the message out there, it's social media. I can't say it enough times. And here's how we get the message out there. We are incredibly transparent. Every single one of our Saturday morning sales meetings, which I believe Ben, your friend Ben, is now doing that too. But every one of our Saturday morning sales meetings, we've been streaming those live on Facebook for the last, 2 years. We stream those live so that
because you're not afraid. You're not afraid of the competition.
Yeah, we're not afraid at all.
You guys have set the bench, and it's like, hey boys, you can follow us, and we're going to show you how to do it, because you and I both know, Glenn, 99% of them, they'll watch it, but they will not take action.
They won't do it. They won't. Mm-hmm. Right. But our customers can see behind the scenes and see that we're real people. They can see that, see that we really do care. So we are very transparent with what we post. We share a lot of stuff. I personally, I share, my faith. I share my beliefs. I share my family, and I spotlight my team constantly. I'm always posting something where one of my guys on my team is winning. He's having success. Every Monday morning, I post our numbers, and I post my top 5 sales guys, so that everybody can see who the top guys, sales guys are and who's doing what. You can click them. You can follow those guys. Those guys post. Their social media is clean. It's good. It shows who they are. We really pay attention to that. And then every once in a while, Lisa, we do something. I'm going to tell you. You probably haven't seen this video yet, and some of the other dealers didn't like it. But every once in a while, we call some of these guys out. So we had an experience where a lady posted on Facebook. Her son had gotten a mailer. He had gotten a scratch-off mailer. He was 6 years old, and he had a mailer, and he had just learned how to read. And he read, and he pulled the pull tab, and it said that he won a brand new TV. And he was so excited. And his mom told him, "You didn't win a TV. It's just a gimmick to get you in the car dealership." And so he said, "No, I'm putting on my suit. They're going to take a picture of me." And he made his mom take him to the dealership, only to be told he didn't win a TV, right?
Right.
Those mailers. He didn't win a TV. So she posted on Facebook, and tons of comments and shares, and I could just see all this negativity focused on the auto industry because this one guy decided to send this mailer out. So what did we do? Well, we brought out the video camera. We ran across to Walmart. We bought a TV. We bought a little Switch, a Nintendo Switch for the kid. We called his mom. We said, "Hey, Mom, tell your son to put his suit on. Come on over here to Dan Cummins because we're going to give the kid a TV because the auto industry being destroyed like this." So we brought him in. He was in his little suit, and he smiled. here. We gave them a TV, we gave them a little Nintendo Switch, and we videoed the whole stinking thing, and we posted it on social media, and 300,000 views later, 300,000 views later, let the whole world know that not everybody in the auto industry is doing things the old way. There's guys like us that are out here. Now, did we do that to sell cars? Not necessarily. Did we sell some cars off of it? Yeah, we totally sold cars off of it, but that wasn't the purpose. The point was to let everybody know, quit doing this stuff, man. It's old school. It's not.
Okay, I am so reposting that video. How long ago did you guys do that? I got to find it.
That was probably, it was right after Christmas, I think. So January. It was right around January. I'll shoot you the video. It's on my YouTube page too.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff. And, I've said for years, it isn't what you sell, it's what you stand for. And if you stand for something big enough, people are going to buy what you're selling. And there's nothing wrong with, and we did it too. I mean, my dealership, we raised $300,000 one night on my showroom floor for Girl Scouts. The CEO of Girl Scouts flew in for STEM and to give that money to young minority girls in underserved neighborhoods to go to college, because we wanted to help more women get into technology, and these gals never had a chance because they could have never gotten the money to go to those schools. And was it a good deed? Many of the things we did, yes, of course it was. I did it because that was my heart. And did we sell some cars along the way? Even Girl Scouts USA started buying their cars from me and wrapping them. So we do out of our passion and our love of our community of people. And of course, we're going to sell a few cars along the way, but it's never our driving factor. And
that's right.
No, I absolutely love it. So, there's all kinds of people on here. I don't want to do a huge call out right now since we're filming or cutting the podcast too. But you have got some fans out here. And Nat Wagner, everybody loves what you're doing and what you guys are doing. So how do we get the word out? How do we help you, everyone who's listening to our show today? And how do we help you sell more cars, but more importantly, push your message out to the industry? I want to make a personal invite to you. I'm on the board of Women in Automotive, and we are in Orlando, June 24th through 26th. And let's have an offline conversation. I'd love to have you speak if you can get away. It's a Sunday through Tuesday. We'll have 400 to 500 industry rock stars there. We got to get your message out, because until my agents or mine and your agent connected us, we didn't know each other. And this is how you build a movement. And when you're building a movement, you help other people build their movements along the way.
Absolutely. Sorry, I just had a call come in right there.
Oh.
It's kind of tough, and
because you have a day job.
Well, yeah, and this dealership is, it's definitely my heart. Like I love this place more than anything on the planet, and the family of guys that I have working for me. There's 270 employees in this place now, and we're rocking and rolling. They're all counting on me every single day. So sometimes it is tough for me to get out of this chair. But I did find a little window of time. I found a little window of time at 5:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday. I found this little window of time where the dealership's closed, everybody's sleeping, right? The dealership's closed, and I have a little bit of time where I share a lot of motivational stuff, inspirational stuff, and educational stuff, all these different strategies. I share that with as many people as I possibly can. So that show, I don't know why this is doing this. Hold on. Okay, maybe if I just do this. It's a show called #Rise and Grind that I do on Facebook. It's a 20-minute podcast, 5:30 a.m. to 5:50 a.m. I go live. I'm there in my, pajamas.
Okay, so everybody, I am going to post the link.
Yeah. So I'm there every single day, and it has been, I just started doing this. I guess we've done 72 episodes now. So I just started doing this in January. The group now has 23,000 members. A lot of them are players from the auto industry. Sean Hayes has a good group, Sales Hustlers. He's helped me out with a lot of stuff. And so that's kind of a platform right there. My 5:30 a.m. is a great platform that if people could share that and we can get more people in there, then they can connect with through there. And typically, once we connect through that platform, then you start to see all my other stuff. You start to see, you know, the ways that we're educating in the dealership, all the different posts, so on and so forth. And then, of course, when the book comes out, Corporate Family Values, Leadership and Management in the Millennial Era, that book, I need everybody to buy it and read it and share it. This is the first book that I know of. Anyways, this is the first cultural-based book that's focused on your management team, okay? This isn't a book for your salespeople. It's a book for your management team, for the management in not just the auto industry, but in any auto industry or any industry really. And it helps to how to lead these millennials. I know that it is a struggle in this industry for a lot of people to connect with the millennials and understand the importance of having a mission, the importance of having, you know, creating a movement, like you say, Lisa. So this book helps break that down. So that will help. And then, of course, if I can get out to any of these events or whatever, I would love to.
I've personally invited you. And so we're working on a very, very famous chairman of the board who might be a female who might come speak. And you might like her because you sell her cars. Anyways, I will keep you posted on that. I had the honor of meeting her when she and I were both named in the top 100 women in automotive a couple years ago. And, you know, you work for a great brand. Chevy's where I started, almost 30 years ago. And you are so inspiring. And we are going to, my team's going to put out all of your contact information, everything. But I want to go back to something before we wrap up. You had told me earlier that, and I hope I'm not getting too personal, but it's what I do. How has this changed the last 7 years of working for this amazing organization? How has that changed your personal and your family life compared to where you were at before?
180 degrees. When I started working here, I lost custody of my daughter at 6 years old. And I lost custody of her because the car business that I was in was not conducive to having any kind of a relationship. Okay, so her mom and I split up, obviously, because I was just gone. I wasn't there. And then once we split up, I, had a weird egomaniac mentality and thought I was, a superhero and could do whatever the heck I wanted. And really, I didn't care about anybody but myself at that point in time. So I lost custody of my daughter at 6. When I started here, I still hadn't had any contact with her. So anyways, fast forward. Now, my daughter and I actually was just talking to her yesterday. She was at Coachella this last 4 days. She spent 4 days at Coachella. She's 18 years old now, but she's been back in my life for the last 4 years. I'm married now. My wife and I have 5 kids with a 6th on the way. My marriage is incredible. Our relationship is amazing. She comes first. The owners of this place allow us to have that relationship. Like, we actually have a relationship outside of work. So when I first got back into the car business, I was scared to death that I was going to go down that same path I had gone down before. And that fear combined with these owners, these incredible owners at this incredible dealership, have been able to just turn my life 180 degrees. So now I'm giving back. I'm teaching all these young guys in the dealership. I'm teaching all these guys that work for me, like, hey man, we got to make sure we're focusing on our families. We got to make sure we're focusing on being servants. We got to be servant leaders. We can't be selfish. We have to be servants out to others. And so we talk about all kinds of stuff like that now based on my experiences before to what they are now. So it's night and day, and I stinking love it. Before, when I was the cutthroat dealer guy that thought he had it all together, the bottom was about to fall out at any second. Now I'm not the cutthroat dealer guy, and I'm selling more cars than we've ever sold, that I could ever even imagine. So it just goes to show, when you do the right thing and the right thing every single time, it all pays off. It's all rewarded in the long run.
Now, there's only one thing I see about you that is not the right thing. What's that Raiders chair you're sitting on? Says the Cowboys fan.
This isn't the right thing yet, but at the end of the next year, when they're winning the Super Bowl with John Gruden, then I'm going to make you come sit in this one. I'm going to make you sit in my chair here.
I thought, I'm such a fan of this guy until I saw. And, I grew up in the Bay Area. So back then they were the Oakland Raiders. I'm not sure who they are now. But anyways, I just had to give you a bad time about that. Well, you are truly the best kept secret, and you're not, because I didn't know, but you can count on me and my team to spread the word, to spread your movement. We're going to post everything about how people can follow Rise and Grind at 5:30 in the morning, your live Facebook show. Dying to promote your book. Congratulations. I know you just picked up a publisher on it. That's a really big deal, is to get a publisher. Your course will be out soon. I know that. And of course, my team, we will have that distributed into all of our dealer network. And I just want to wish you continued success. I'm just, I'm proud to call you a new friend, and I'm proud to call you a colleague in the automotive industry, because it's organizations like yours that are going to clean up this industry, that we're going to eradicate the bullies, that we're going to galvanize consumers to start rooting for us. I mean, if it wasn't for the local car dealer, the taxes we pay, the charities we support, the people we employ, and all of that gets overshined or whatever a lot of times, because people are like, I hate car dealers, I hate the car buying experience. So all the good that car dealers do gets pushed to the curb so many times.
Yeah.
Because of the experience that a consumer feels when they walk in, or because of what happens when an employee leaves and says, I would never work in the car business again. They're a bunch of bullies.
That's right. That's right. So we got to put a stop to it. We absolutely put a stop to it.
Well, again, thank you. You are truly a big seller. You and your organization, you guys have built a movement. So what is the one big idea? Because I love the big idea. Ziegler told me yesterday that you can, no matter what your financial situation is, you can sell. If you're a great salesperson, you can sell your way out of any situation, which I love. I mean, just to my soul, that one resonates. So what is the big idea, Glenn Lundy, that we're going to take away from this, that everybody in the sales community it's going to resonate with them and it's going to help them?
Ooh, the one big idea.
One big idea. I know it's going to be hard sitting in that Raiders chair maybe to come up with it, but with just
you could have asked me this, like, in the before we started live. You could have asked me so I could have had some time.
You don't need any time. It's sitting right here in your heart. I can tell you what your big idea is.
Well, the one big, it's hard to narrow it down to just one thing.
Okay, so then just pick one of the one things. Just one. You have several. You talked about several today.
I think the biggest thing really, the biggest thing really probably for these guys is training on life skills, not just people skills, or not just job skills.
I love it.
I think that's the biggest one. If you sit around and you just create a culture where all you're talking about is selling and overcoming objections, and you're not helping these guys help themselves outside of the dealership, if you can't help them with their relationships, if you can't help them pay their bills on time, if you can't help them with all of those things like life skills that no one else is teaching them, if you can't help them with those things, then you can't grow your business. But when you go out on a ledge and you teach these guys, kind of father figure, you teach them some life skills, then they become loyal, they buy in, they treat your customers the way they should be treated, and your business just explodes.
Okay, so I'm going to take that down to the big idea for this show, for the Art of the Big Sale, is you grow your people, you grow your business.
There you go. I like that.
Do you like that?
I do.
Yeah, this is kind of what I do for a living now. I go out and I talk to dealers like you. They're calling like crazy when I meet them, and they're like, Lisa, what is my one big idea? And I'm like, tell me about your business. Tell me about your organization. Tell me. And usually I can decide in about 1 minute whether they have a soul or not. And if they have a soul, then I'm going to continue the conversation. And if they don't, I'm like, bye, Felicia, I'm out of here.
Right.
Because you cannot give a bad person a soul. But, that is, I think, like, if I was in consulting for you right now, it would be grow your business, grow your people. That is the big idea. Excuse me, grow your people, grow your business.
Yeah.
And instead of investing in all the other voodoo that's out there, invest in your people. I love what you said. If people aren't worried about their finances, if people aren't worried about bill collectors calling them, or, losing their children in custody battles, then they have got a better mindset to go and work with the customers and sell more. Absolutely. And I love I love everything about you. I'm a huge fan. We're going to get the word out. You and I will have a conversation offline, because I'm going to recruit you to come to Women in Automotive. And I think everyone should hear your message, and just keep fighting the fight, my friend.
Hey, thank you so much, Lisa. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm so glad we connected.
I am too.